Hello and welcome to today's Recess Body Reset, which is a 20-minute break in your day to loosen up and feel good in your body. So today we're going to start by standing. I just have this marker on my floor. You do not need a block between your legs or your feet. Okay, you're just going to start standing and just bring a little shake, a little wiggle to the body. Let the breath drop in. And then just come to stillness and flip your palms forward. This brings your shoulders into a neutral position. And spread your toes as wide as you can on the floor, feeling your heel, your big toe mound, and then the knife edge of your foot, just nice and grounded. Bring a little bend to your knees, a little tuck to your tail, and some length to the back of that neck. So it might feel like you're making a double chin on the front side. Bring length to that neck. And then with your ribs, you want to make sure they're knitted together on the front side. You don't have to hold a hard contraction there, but just like they're knitting together towards one another. And just close down your eyes for a moment. Relax those eye sockets, that forehead, your jaw, that chin. And just bring a scan to the body, a scan to the head. If it's busy, if it's calm. Just notice, is the energy within the mind or outside, or maybe a little bit of both? Drop that energy down from the head to the body, going directly to the heart, the chest, the upper back, the shoulders. If you find a little more relaxation here, and think of that heart energy not only from the front of the heart, the giving, but the back of the heart, the receiving energy, the support that you may find through your spine, through your core as you notice. Energy coming out from the heart and back around the back of the heart. You can start experiencing that as a figure 8 energy. It goes out one direction, maybe to the left, comes back around, then goes out to the right and back around. Just letting that energy circuit there. Bringing your attention down to your gut, your low back, your glutes. Make sure you're not tensing them. Then down those legs, those knees, those ankles, and those feet, rooting into the ground. Big column of energy here from the ground through your root up to your crown and out. Take a big breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Two more times in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can add sound. One more time in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, please, you can open up your eyes. Place both hands over your heart. And release that energy to your sides. Okay. So I want to bring attention today to our shoulders, and depending how much time we have, we might work down to our knees, ankles. It'll all be affected because it's all connected. But first with the shoulders, so we have done some shoulder exaggeration exercises. I call these shoulder yawns because we want to exaggerate the lift of the shoulders up towards the ears. You can take that position with me now. You can have your hands, your palms in or to the front, however they feel comfortable. But as you release, you're going to go as slow as possible, and you can sync up your breath with it. So just releasing those shoulders down. Seeing how far they can go towards your back pocket. Just finding some length between the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, the ears, and we're going to do that again. So exaggerating those shoulders up. You can breathe in and then slow on the way out, breathing out. As slow as you can possibly go here. And one more time, exaggerating up, breath in. And release as slow as you can, breath out. And just bring a light alternating arm swing here. You can add a little momentum with that through the hips, the knees, the ankles. Okay, we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to do it a little faster and add sound to it. So I'll show you first. We'll exaggerate up and then just let it all go at once. And we'll do that 3 times. Okay, so we'll bring those shoulders up and release. 2 more times. Bring them up, breath in. Release the sound. 1 more time, breath in and up. And release, bring the alternating arm swing. You can move through that rib cage, that side body, bring movement to the hips, the knees, the ankles. And come to stillness. Bring just a little shake to the legs only. Just letting that energy dissipate from those vocal breaths out. So the energy is always moving in and out. And a lot of times what we're doing within the body is we bring so much in and we don't have as much expression out, which is why we want to take small, subtle movements, breath, sound to have that release. So that is part of the purpose of what we're doing here today. And I want to share with you, so since we just worked with the shoulders, we want to bring some, so the yawns brought the connection between the brain and the body for the shoulders to relax. So we want to bring some mobility and strength to that same area. So what I thought we could do, which would be an easy exercise, which can sometimes be easier on the ground, but we're going to do this standing, and notice the movement that you get within the shoulder. So it's called a shoulder girdle, but you might hear that as your shoulder blades. So they're like wings on your body, your upper back. So I'm going to have you take your arms out in front of you. So drop your elbows below those shoulders. So they don't have to be shoulder height. Your arms do not. So you can drop them down. find that knitted rib on the front side and that shoulder depression, so shoulders towards back pockets on the back. And I want you to have your fingertips apart and thumbs up. So what you're going to do here is you're going to, without moving your arms, you're actually moving through this side body, which, or upper side body, that's known as your serratus. And you're using that muscle. I call them your hugging muscles a lot of times. You're going to use that muscle to actually move the shoulder blade in position. So here's what it looks like. So it's going to be a slight and subtle movement. So you're going to pull back, those shoulder blades are pulling in toward your spine, and then you're going to release. And I want you to on that release, it's going to feel like a reach forward. And then you're going to use that muscle. And right now it might feel like I can't notice that muscle, and that's okay. Just think about pulling your shoulder blades towards one another and then releasing them away from each other. And that's the movement. So you're actually working your rhomboids, which are between your shoulder blades, and your mid and lower traps. Oftentimes our upper traps are way active, especially if we sit often at a computer or in a car or wherever. Okay, so we're gonna pull those shoulder blades towards one another and then release. Small subtle movement, pulling those shoulder blades towards one another and release. Again, pulling them in and back towards one another and release. Pulling them in. So this movement comes from the muscles that are right under those armpits. Let's go 3 more, pulling them in and back and release. 2 more times, and then back. Just like you're squeezing a pencil between those shoulder blades. And 1 more time, in and back. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can release, shake it out. I like to shake everything out. So that was mobility and strengthening in 1 for, again, those rhomboids, mid, lower traps, and just opening up the shoulder because oftentimes they are rolling forward and we want to get long through the collarbones and relaxed down and back. So 1 more exercise that I want you to try out for your knees, and this will hit your ankles and your hips as well, and your shoulders again, because it's all connected. But I want you to take your feet slightly wider than your hips. So a lot of times we think our hips are wider than they actually are. So just so from that big toe mound that's right under your hip, just take it out like a step from there. So what you're gonna, and you might find as you do this that you might have to take your feet wider, and that's fine. But here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna drop my knees towards one another, and I'm actually gonna have them touch. So I'm on the inside edge of my foot. Then what I'm gonna do is press my knees out. So now I'm a little more on the outside edge of my foot, and then I'm gonna stand tall. So I'm gonna drop my knees in towards one another, and I take a little kind of squat there to do so. So I'm on the inside edge of my feet. I'm gonna take my knees out from that position. You're gonna hit your glute med, and which stabilizes the hips, and then you're gonna stand. Okay, so once you have that movement, knees in towards one another, inside edge of your foot, knees come out, and you stand. So let's do 5 like that. Knees in, knees out, and stand. Knees in, knees out, and stand. 3 more. In, squeezing those inner thighs together, pressing those knees out, feet come to the floor, and stand. But you're gonna feel that weight in. Now you'll feel it out. And 1 more. In, out, and stand. Okay, shake that out. Guess what? We're gonna go in the opposite direction. If I remember, like right now, my brain is not computing to what that's gonna look like. Opposite direction. Why do I not remember this? Out, in. Oh yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. So you're gonna come into a slight squat, your knees pressing out. So I have my toes turned out a little bit, and it's gonna depend on your feet and your ankles how your feet are positioned. But I'm gonna come down into a little bit of a squat. I'm gonna bring my knees in towards one another. You'll probably notice that you can't squeeze your legs as tightly, and then you're gonna stand tall. So come to that squat, legs are apart, feet are flat on the floor. You're gonna drop your knees in, so you're coming to the inside edge of your feet, excuse me, and then you're gonna stand pressing the legs out. So squat, in, up, and stand. Little squat, bring those knees in towards one another, and stand. Let's go 3 more. Little squat, knees in, stand, and feet come flat. 2 more. And last one. And release. Shake it out. You might take that shake to the upper body as well. Okay, one last stretch just to get you to loosen up through that low back, the front side of that core. So what you want to do is have as big a bend in your knees as you can, because you're actually going to place your rib cage to your knees. So we're going to go to a forward fold is really what it is. So you can take a breath in, arms come up, bring that breath down through the center of the body. So you're going to push your hips back, and you're going to just rest your rib cage on those legs, and that will open up your low back. And just let your head hang heavy. You can bring your hands to the floor if you want to bring that weight a little more forward. You can move side to side through that upper body if you'd like, or just stay center. And now as you roll up, don't go yet, but think of rolling up from the bottom of that tailbone. So you're pulling the belly in, tucking the tail as you're moving up, 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 stacking that spine, one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last to unravel. And Sanders joined us at the end. And take a big breath in through the nose and out. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you for spending this time in Recess Body Reset.